Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to talk about our weekly Torah portion, Parshas Tzav, meaning commandments, that God gives the commandments to Jewish people through Moshe and to the priests, and most of those commandments are talking about the temple offering and different prohibitions in the temple. And the truth is, those are not very exciting texts that we're reading right now in our weekly portion, and most of the Jewish educators, including myself, are trying to skip this part. But when you try to pay a little bit more attention to the details of those commandments, you always encounter the most relevant lessons to our daily avodas Hashem, to our daily routine of worshiping the Kadosh Baruch Hu, of worshiping the God. One of the two of those commandments that I want to discuss today, they are very rarely discussed. One of them notar, and another one pigul. Notar means literally leftovers. Pigul, I would say, it means the expired, the past the expiration date. What are those commandments? Notar, our sages explain that in the Torah there are a lot of offerings. Some offerings are holier, that are burned totally, and some offerings that the leftovers, literally leftovers, were eaten by the Kohanim, which is a part of the commandment, a part of the offerings, and some were eaten actually by the simple Jewish people that were bringing the offerings. However, Torah gives a very strict timetable until what time those leftovers were supposed to be eaten as a part of the commandment, and whatever leftover, you're not allowed to eat it all. Moreover, Torah talks about very severe punishment, punishment of karet. It's not just a death sentence, it's a spiritual death sentence, the cutting of the soul. Another commandment, pigul, the expired, Rambam says that it's commandment prohibition number 132 in his book of mitzvahs, and learn this commandment from the previous one. This commandment not mentioned directly in the Torah, but what is commandment about? When the Jewish person want to bring the offering, if I already want to go to the temple, I will take a nice cow, and while going to the temple and bring this cow to the offering to offer to Hashem, I will be thinking, okay, this cow will be enough for me to make a barbecue for another month. Torah tells us, oy vey, don't even think about this. Only the thought that you can use the meat of this cow that you bring to offering, later on, it's already making the korban posel, making this offering not kosher, not accepted. And moreover, Rambam says that we receive, God forbid, exactly the same punishment as for notar, the karet, the cutting off of the Jewish soul, the spiritual death sentence. The question, why such a brutal punishment? And moreover, Torah must be relevant. Even those commandments that we are practicing only a fraction of our history should be relevant today in our daily avodas Hashem. One of my greatest teachers that unfortunately already returned his soul to the Creator, of Aiden Steinsaltz, explains that the key to understand the relevance of those mitzvahs is in another, literally the key phrase of the all avodas Hashem, of all the service in the temple. It says in our parsha as well, Esh tamid tukad al mizbech. The constant fire has to be kept on the offering place. What does it mean? That yes, as Rabbeinu Bachya explains, 6 times throughout our history the fire came from heaven, but the responsibility to keep the fire burning on the Mizbech was the Kohanim's responsibility, the priesthood responsibility. And they constantly were bringing more and more wood and keep this flame alive. Obviously, our avodas Hashem today, it reflects the avodah in Beis Hamikdash. And I think allegory is pretty clear that the fire represents our excitement, our euphoria in avodas Hashem. It's a boy that first time puts on tefillin, how he cherishes this moment. The girl that first time lights the candle, how excited she is. Those are glances of love that we see between the bride and the groom under the chuppah. This is the first line of Torah that you study and understand by yourself. It's almost the same feeling when you hold your child for the first time in your arms. But you will be holding your children much more often than just one time, especially when they don't sleep at night. The Torah has much more than, many more than one sentence. The bride and the groom will need to wash the dishes and pay the bills and transfer themselves from the bride and groom to the husband and wife. And the girl will need to light the candles not only once a week, but there are many weeks throughout, many Shabbos throughout the year, and the tefillin you need to put every day, and especially early in the morning, and you need to wake up. And unfortunately, to do it again and again, it's much more difficult because the first excitement is gone. But this is not the Jewish way to live with excitement. The fire should be burning all the time. It's not enough to feel good about yourself that you woke up early in the morning. No, there is the next morning, and there is next day of tefillin, and there is the next Shabbos, and there is the next year of happy family life. And child should excite you. Your child should excite you every day. Therefore, the mitzvah of pigul and notar, the leftovers and expired offerings, it's very relevant to us because it's not enough to be excited once. You cannot leave the excitement for the next time. There's next time, new offering. Next day, new tefillin. Next Shabbos, new candles. And the fire should burn all the time. We are the priests today in the world. We have to put the wood in the fire of excitement every day anew. And don't even think about it to postpone it to the next day and be happy with what you have. Don't even think about it. Thank you very much. Atzlocha. See you next week.